In the summer of 2009, we began an epic journey.
A few years prior, one of my friends rode his bike across the country, and I was inspired to do the same. Nate, I want to ride across the country on bikes to Canada this summer.
Cool. Wait a second. Canada? I mean, I love the idea, but there are mountains in Canada.
So when people asked, I would say, we're riding our bikes to Canada.
And I would say, we're riding our bikes towards Canada. And it was decided to go on an adventure together and to build something together.
2 months is a long time. How are we able to take it off? I'm a teacher, but to be clear, just so you all know, teachers do not get the summer off. It's not a paid vacation. We are unemployed.
And I'm an artist and a programmer. I try and structure my job so that I can take the summer off as well. We also put aside money throughout the year. Even though we saved and planned for months, people just couldn't believe that we were going to ride our bikes across the country. Just the very idea of it made them think we were crazy.
You're going to get robbed or murdered.
Hit by a car.
Bring a gun.
At least a knife.
If you go on this trip, you're going to get divorced. Aren't you scared? But we weren't, because as cheesy as it sounds, we had each other.
We didn't do much training, but we each had an area of expertise. Amy researched the routes and places to stay.
Nathan handled the financial aspects and learned the basics of bike maintenance. Sharing responsibility is essential. It doesn't work if it's one person's plan. So we were off. The great adventure had begun. Every mile was new and exciting. The air felt freer and fresher. We could go forever.
Then, Amy forgot her foot was strapped in a pedal and took a tumble. Cars were zipping by, we got flat tires multiple times. This was getting very frustrating very quickly.
So 58 miles outside of Orlando, we limped into Lake Griffin State Park.
We pitched our tent, threw our stuff on a picnic table, and headed off to dinner to get away from swarms of giant mosquitoes. Halfway through dinner, it started to pour. We forgot the fly on the tent. Classic.
So we get back and pour gallons of water out of our tent. I thought this was hilarious. Nathan, however, was furious.
I felt really discouraged, like I'd let Amy down. I felt like giving up.
So to try and cheer Nathan up, I did what every good wife said and said something encouraging. Said a gator could get into our tent and bite off your balls. It could be worse.
Somehow that worked. But the frustration didn't end. The universe seemed to be holding us back, and Tallahassee was a vortex that wouldn't let us go.
I fell off my bike in Quincy. We looked up a doctor on the iPhone. They said, I'm sorry, we don't have no x-ray machines in Gadsden County. Y'all gonna have to head back to Tallahassee.
4 months of planning and our schedule was shot within the first week.
We had to listen to each other and give up control.
So we took extra rest days that stifled our momentum.
We had to give up our pride and plans.
And we rented a car to restart our trip in St. Louis and get away from the unbearable heat of the South.
The miles went by slowly along the Mississippi River bottoms. If we made it 50 miles in a day, we felt good.
We mostly slept at campsites, but occasionally complete strangers would pick us up, take us to their house, cook food for us, and give us a head start the next day.
But we were always hungry. We consumed over 4,000 calories per day. Cafes, Cliff Bars, freeze-dried meals.
And we were never clean.
And we were always tired.
A lot of the trip was mundane. No music, not a lot of conversation, just a lot of time inside your own head.
Somehow it was also profound. We were in the same physical space, moving to a distant horizon together.
Uphill and into the wind is a good metaphor for marriage, and this trip was good practice.
As the headwind grew stronger, our sentences became shorter. Debris.
Car behind.
Clear.
Car ahead.
Our patience was wearing thin, and as we'd soon find, we started taking unnecessary risks.
There's an old preacher's story. A drowning man calls out to God to save him. A fisherman comes by to rescue him, but he refuses, claiming that God will save him.
The fisherman leaves and the man drowns. In heaven, he asks God, "Why didn't you save me?" God says, "I sent a boat." In a similar fashion, we jumped at a chance to be propelled forward by a 25-mile-an-hour tailwind.
Who cares that the iPhone said severe weather?
It got darker
Or that the cyclist we passed said to turn back?
and darker
Or that the man in the truck had his laptop pulled up open showing terrible thunderstorms?
and darker until boom!
We're caught in a terrible lightning storm on the open prairie. Pretty soon we had to pull over to the side and huddle on an emergency blanket.
The temperature dropped. I couldn't stop shivering. Bands of bad weather kept coming. After 45 minutes, we got back on the road during a calm in the storm. The respite didn't last.
That's when Amy went, Lieutenant Dan, prayers coming fast and irreverently. Eventually, we rode out of it, and we found a motel and rejoiced that we were still alive.
So travel doesn't go how you expect it to. Sometimes a bridge is out and you have to traipse through a graveyard. You have to let go of control and adapt.
When we found out that the headwind would be as strong in Manitoba as it was in Minnesota, and then we'd already gone 1,000 miles on our bikes, we decided to call it.
We shipped our bikes home, hopped a bus to Winnipeg and a plane to Banff.
A journey like this has a way of refining you and changing your perspective. A lot of the growth that we experienced had to do with marriage, with learning how to listen and how to communicate.
There's a saying in cycling, ride your ride. It means don't try to make your trip look like anyone else's. And that's true about marriage too. Don't compare. It's your relationship.
We met the most amazing people on our journey. Ordinary people who are going about their daily lives, went out of their way to make us comfortable.
We were the strangers, and people opened their hearts and their homes to us. They took a risk and showed us the value of loving a stranger, and we've tried to do the same.
So come on over for dinner.
Seriously. We learned a lot on our trip, more than could possibly be said in 20 seconds. But mostly what we learned is that we have to stick together.
On the road, we had to tell each other to keep going, and we definitely had to learn how to laugh.
We blogged the whole trip, and you can read more and see lots of pictures at nathanandamy.com. Thank you.